All right, afternoon everyone. Thank you for joining me. What we're going to talk about today is the clothing program. And I'm going to ask before we all get started that you put your phones on silent so that way we do not have any interruptions because we will be on a limited time today. So to get started, I will discuss the current clothing program, how it works, and then I will also go through the proposal, if you will, for the future program. Typically, with the clothing program, Google offers a allowance twice a year for all employees. The allowance varies on what department you are in, office versus shop. So that is our current situation. We have not had a clothing program launch in over a year, I believe, because we are in the process of looking for a new vendor. With that being said, I'm gonna start writing some things on the board. So let me know if you can't see me. And I'm still on the camera, right? Alright, so I will write down a couple of things. We'll just call this the 2015 program because that was the last time which we launched. I believe it was early in 2015 or maybe even late 14. So currently with the program, we have every employee receives an allowance. That is broken down whether or not you are in the office or the shop. So we have the allowance differences, if you will, between the office and the shop because the shops go through their clothes more, they wear through them, so we give them a higher allowance so they can purchase more clothing versus the office. So in the future program, oh, and we also do it 2 times a year. We do a fall and a winter, if you will. We do it online, so each of you will get a virtual gift card and you will log in onto your account on the website. And you go in, you purchase your clothes, use your gift card dollar amount, and there's your allowance. You are able to currently purchase over your allowance, but anything you do over your allowance is a personal expense. So, for the future, my proposal is that we use a different vendor because in the previous years, our vendors' quality of clothes were not satisfying our needs and they were also ripping. The logo was bunching, etc. So we need to look for a different vendor, one in which will provide us an online store, obviously be able to print our logo without it bunching on the clothes, and also I would like to stay local. That way if we do have any issues, we are able to go there ourselves or pick up the phone and quickly exchange anything that we have, or they can come pick them up as well. In the future, I would also like to change how many times a year we do that, do our clothing program, and also change our allowances. Does anybody have any questions on the current situation? No. Okay. So yeah, I'll jump ahead now into the future. What I would like to do in the future is I would like to offer the clothing program one time. Whether it's fall, spring, summer, winter, I have not made that decision. I don't really think it matters at this time in which we do it. But I would like it to be once a year. And I would also like to change how we do the allowances. So when we bring somebody on board, such as a new employee, they will get a higher allowance and they will be able to go and purchase 4 shirts and a coat, for example. And then if and when we launch the program, depending on when their hire date is, they will not be eligible to participate until the following year. Okay? I would also like to change, since how currently we have the office and shop, I'd also like to break it down to office, shop, and also with the sales and applications group. Currently, the application and sales group, they get shirts when they go to trade shows, they have a big sales meeting or any kind of big event, they don't automatically, but they have an individual who purchases shirts for them, for those events. So throughout the year, they're already getting clothes bought for them. So I do not think going forward that their allowance should be the same as anybody else's in which doesn't have clothes purchased for them throughout the year. That doesn't seem to make sense. So the shop, I think, can stay the same because it seems to work for them. The allowance in which they receive buys them enough clothes to last throughout the year. Make sense so far?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, with the vendors, and having the ability to purchase online, is that a good feature to have?
I think it's a really good feature, actually. I appreciated it. Yes.
So we still wanna do an online allowance gift card, however they can make it work,
It seemed to work out good.
okay? So we still wanna do the online store. With the shirts, for the office, most folks buy sweaters and polos and button-ups. So if we up the quality and clothing in which we choose, that's gonna lessen the amount of, the length your money can go, right? So how much would you like your allowance to be able to buy a year? 2 polos, 2 shirts, 2 button-ups, sweaters. I mean, we can still have the big items, the backpacks, the coats, and then, people can do with what their money is, what they prefer, but to
Well, if
be
we
able
could
to
get
come
a
up.
week's worth of clothing, let's say, out of it, and if we could get an extra button up for winter, that'd be nice. The only thing I'd like to interject is like project management. We're customer facing, we do a lot of in-field situations. So having the pants available.
So we could,
is very nice.
in the future, we could maybe do shop, office, apps, and PMs. Have it more controlled.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, there are some PMs that pretty much are just stationed in the office, but there's a lot that we have to go out and travel, do a site survey, be on site, and having the, let's say, more durable pants would be a plus.
Okay. So with the shop, being that a lot of their clothes get oil and grease and such on them, I am proposing that we use the Cintas and they do the leasing or renting option. There is no cost difference if we do the leasing versus renting as to how we're doing it now. I think we'll save a couple of dollars, but it's nothing that will make or break the bank by doing it this way. Travis, may I use you?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the Cintas clothing. They also have office as well. I do not believe if I have a pair of female pants in there before.
That's okay.
So, the Cintas, with the new OSHA regulations, with the electricians, they do offer the fire resistant Carhartt clothes. And that meet all the electrical standards that the electricians have to have and such to be safe. So this is what the clothing looks like that they would be leasing. So they have the patch that would be created with our logo, and which can be removed and such, added to other clothes. This is an office. I'll take that and maybe pass it around, Chad. Now, most of their brands, like for the shop clothes, are Carhartt.
And do they clean, will Cintas take the people's stuff and clean it, or no?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. So, and with the service, I'm including the service in with the shop. The service, they also can pick up the phone and call any Cintas wherever there be, and if they have a rip tear or such, and their clothes can be replaced on site.
Oh, all over the country?
Correct.
Oh, that's nice.
That'd be great for our global footprint.
Yes. So this is what a typical shop shirt looks like.
It's pretty see-through.
Oh, did you wanna see the pants?
Oh, wow. It's very see-through.
Yeah. And a high flash button, you're gonna be able to play that.
Yeah, here we go. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that might be a,
It's a tad see-through.
yeah. I mean, I have to wear white shirts under all these too, because they're see-through, but it'd be nice if they weren't cooler without a shirt on.
Right, yeah,
Just throwing it out there. Not complaining.
I agree, well, cause if the girls' shirts are the same see-through, then that's no good.
Right.
Correct.
So I
Can't have
think
that.
with the Cintas, I think I will go ahead and keep that to the shop and service side.
Mhm.
And then stick with our future vendor on the office apps, project engineers and stuff, we'll break it down there. I think that will give us more control over how much money everyone's spending on clothes. It'll be easier to receive feedback if we're all a one-stop shop for everybody. And with the Cintas, it'll help those who have clothes that get ripped, torn, not putting it in their washer when it's all greasy and such. Any questions? Travis?
Yeah, hey, so I don't think twice a year would be a bad idea though. Because you have summer months and then you have winter, obviously. And, people's bodies change over the year too. I mean, let's be honest here. I might not be the same weight I was in the spring, which I understand that's my responsibility, but I'm just thinking, how hard is it to do 2 times a year? Because I'll be thinking more about winter stuff in the fall. In the spring, I might not care about buying a jacket. So,
So even for those with the new hires, we still offer it twice a year, but let them jump in. If they were hired in the spring, they could jump in the fall or just
So if
skip a
they
year.
were
Give
hired,
them,
let's
give them a
say,
6-month window where they
after
can't
June.
participate.
then they would follow up that on that next program time.
Okay.
I mean, it just
Good
also
point.
depends on where they're being hired in at, correct?
Correct.
Cause I can see that apps and sales is gonna want to have the shirts available. Shop guys, they might just for the wear and tear on them.
I mean, plus also if you find out that over time, this new place you got, their logos start looking like this too, you only spend half your money and you can correct that in the winter.
So if I gave every office person $150 a year, they get 75 in spring, 75 in winter. So still offer the same amount of allowance, just split it between 2 lunches. Yeah.
And that way, so you do it as a dollar amount rather than like you can buy like X amount of shirts or.
But I base the allowance off of, after I look through their catalog and I see how much their shirts and coats and yada yada yada's cost, then I kind of go rough figure on the allowance. To at least get somebody at least 2 shirts and maybe a coat, depending on the quality. Because the higher quality you go, the less your allowance is gonna try. Okay.
No, the current vendor have like extended sizes, like talls,
Yes.
like that.
Well, they'll still come in and show us the different variations that they
Yes.
have.
If we choose a new vendor, if we choose to get a new vendor, then yes, they'll bring in samples.
That way you can see what sizes are really extra large versus large.
I think the last clothing program they came in and measured us too if you wanted it.
Correct. That way it was on file.
So that is my proposal. For the future clothing program. I will open up the floor now for everybody's questions or other comments that we have.
When do you think this is actually gonna get rolled out?
I would like to roll it out by this fall. If I have to find a new vendor, it'll probably take me that long.
Was there a lot of displeasure with how the program was run previously?
Program wise, no. Well, not that I have heard. Program wise, no. It was just the quality of our vendor.
Okay.
Which falls a little on me because I chose medium quality shirts so that people could purchase more.
Yeah, but still, the embroidering of the logo to me should have made a difference. You know, some of the L's had the labor kicked out. And even if you ironed it, it looked real bumpy. I'm trying to present it professionally.
Well, that is all I had, so I'm gonna wrap it up, and I appreciate you guys for your feedback and your time.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Jasmine.